Robert Allen Monroe, initially from Wabash, Indiana, first built a career as a radio broadcasting executive before becoming a trailblazer in researching altered states of consciousness and founding the Monroe Institute. His seminal 1971 book, Journeys Out of the Body, is widely credited for popularizing the term out-of-body experience. In 1958, at 43 years old, Monroe encountered a sequence of bizarre events. It started with an intense vibration felt deep within his chest, which grew so strong he was forced to lie down. As he did, this typically rational businessman found himself levitating outside his own physical form, convinced he had died. He was seized by panic, but his sheer terror instantly jolted him back into his body. Shortly after, he experienced more incidents where he would effortlessly glide around the room. After a series of these unexplainable events, Monroe sought opinions from multiple doctors and psychologists, all of whom assured him he was perfectly healthy. Reassured by their diagnosis, the telecommunications executive decided to hone this newfound skill. He eventually left his secure corporate position to dedicate himself entirely to the study of consciousness. Over the subsequent 3 decades, Monroe rigorously investigated out-of-body experiences, seeking to scientifically prove the reality of alternate dimensions. To make what he called cosmic travel more achievable, he created a technology named hemispheric synchronization, or Hemi-Sync. This innovative method employs audio patterns with binaural beats to align the brain's left and right hemispheres. Independent clinical neurologists performed extensive tests on subjects using this experimental method and were amazed by the distinct alterations visible on every EEG scan. The brain's hemispheres displayed coordinated activity, matching in both amplitude and frequency. Monroe's work greatly advanced the comprehension and practical application of altered states of consciousness. The U.S. government took a keen interest in the pioneering work of astral explorer Robert Monroe. In 1978, delegates from the Central Intelligence Agency contacted him, with high-level officials enlisting him for a classified military program. The project sought to utilize Monroe's consciousness-expanding methods to allow soldiers to perform profound remote viewing sessions.
Success in these efforts could grant the United States a major strategic advantage over its Soviet rivals, potentially enabling operatives to access past, present, and future events, or even investigate the multiverse. Given Monroe's deep knowledge and his array of patented technologies, he was the perfect candidate for this revolutionary undertaking. Eager to gain further credibility in the field of paranormal research, Monroe accepted the offer. Since the project entailed probing other dimensions, the researchers aptly called it the gateway process. Declassified files outline the program as a training system designed to boost the power, concentration, and coordination of brainwave output across both cerebral hemispheres, shifting consciousness to move beyond the physical world, ultimately surpassing the limits of time and space. This enables participants to tap into various tiers of intuitive knowledge existing throughout the universe. The results, recorded in Commander Wayne M. McDonald's final assessment, uncovered deep revelations about the fabric of reality. The inquiry determined that our universe is holographic, and our waking existence operates within a projected electromagnetic matrix. McDonald framed his report using the language of physical science to avoid any links to the occult. He used quantum mechanics to describe the essence and operations of human consciousness, and referenced theoretical physics to outline the properties of the space-time dimension and how expanded human awareness can transcend its limits.
McDonald's study claimed that the entire human body functions as a precisely adjusted vibrational system, emitting energy within a 6.8 to 7.5 Hz frequency range into the Earth's ionospheric cavity, which resonates at a similar frequency of about 7 to 7.5 Hertz. This occurrence, sometimes called the Earth's heartbeat by scientists, suggests that the energy produced by the brain-body system syncs with the Earth's ionosphere vibrations, allowing it to spread worldwide in merely 1/7 of a second. Some parts of McDonald's report delve into contentious areas. In attempting to explain the universe that receives these brain signals, McDonald freely blends accepted physics theories with highly speculative assertions that border on fiction.
For example, he states that energy in infinity retains its innate potential for consciousness, able to receive and passively observe holograms generated by dynamic energy across multiple dimensions of the created universe. The foundation of the gateway theory rests on what McDonald calls the absolute, a universal energy field that saturates all dimensions, possesses a fixed energy level, and is infinite. This field is not limited by space or time due to its absence of physical location or momentum. The Hemi-Sync technology seeks to attune human consciousness to the absolute, achieving frequencies that briefly disconnect from space-time.
McDonald depicts the environment for this event as a huge cosmic egg. Within this cosmic structure, the absolute emits matter from a white hole at the egg's center. This matter then journeys along one side of the egg shell and exits through a black hole back at the core. McDonald clarifies that time begins as a measure of the rhythm of this evolutionary progression as reality moves across the egg's shell toward the black hole at its far end. He proposes that this whole mechanism is enabled when we can separate our consciousness from our physical bodies. This division gives consciousness an existential boost, letting it begin nearer to and interact more deeply with other dimensions. Here is where the idea becomes intricate. The universe itself participates in the holographic model via what is known as a torus, a giant, self-sustaining spiral that creates an interference pattern. This pattern, McDonald points out, forms the universal hologram, or torus, simultaneously molded by matter at all various phases of time. It reflects the evolution of the universe from past to future, as seen from our particular point in time. The notion of the torus hologram corresponds with string theory's representation of a holographic universe. String theorists use equations implying that although items might vanish into a black hole, the information about them stays preserved in a two-dimensional form on the event horizon. This information, when projected, contains all the traits and data of the three-dimensional object in a holographic format. Similarly, happenings within one part of this egg-shaped universe are projected as a holographic experience.
McDonald characterizes the out-of-body state as a projection, where a substantial portion of the energy pattern symbolizing human consciousness can move without restraint across the earthly domain to collect information or journey into dimensions beyond space-time to potentially interact with other types of consciousness. He elaborates that consciousness serves as the organizing and motivating force that guides and sustains energy movement within specific boundaries to create a particular reality.
When consciousness advances to the stage where it can identify itself, it attains self-awareness. In simple terms, the absolute is self-aware, and so is consciousness. While physical reality happens in space-time, consciousness ultimately goes back to the absolute. Meanwhile, a small number of people succeed in using Hemi-Sync to rise above their physical limits and space-time to examine other dimensions and forms of consciousness. However, similar to meditation, becoming proficient in this method requires substantial practice. In summary, The investigations and theories put forward by Robert Alan Monroe concerning consciousness and its potentials stretch beyond conventional comprehension and into areas many would view as metaphysical or mystical. The creation of Hemi-Sync technology by Monroe provides a look into the ability of human consciousness to transcend time and space via out-of-body experiences. His achievements have not only broadened the frontiers of our understanding of consciousness, but also created opportunities for practical uses that let people investigate these states independently. Monroe's legacy remains a source of inspiration for both scientific research and personal discovery into the vast depths of human awareness.